What's happening, party people? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday out there today. Woo! It's been a good one. It's 4 o'clock. A little after 4. How are you? Post a little comment. What are you doing on this Tuesday? Alrighty. Got a little something good for you today. A little business tip. Gotten a couple requests, a couple questions over the last couple weeks. This is kind of I think it's a new thing in the age of the COVID-19. But I've had some people ask me, they say, "Hey, what do I need to do to be a coach? What do I want to do? I really enjoy helping other people. So what do I need to do to become a coach?" That's a good question. That's a really good question. And I'm excited because so many people are finding their niche. They're finding their calling in coaching and helping other people because they've already been through it, right? Or they know the answer to the solution to the problem. So the title of this live today is the 10 things you can start doing today to become a coach, ... worth following. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of freaking coaches out there that do not know what they're doing. Pretty much, 90% of coaches out there get out there because they think, especially in the fitness and nutrition industry, they get out there because they're like, oh, well, I can lift things up and put them down. Why don't I be a coach? So there's a lot of people out there, but what I'm going to teach you today is some of the things that you need, a framework that you can start with today, 10 things that you can start with today. They're going to put you in that top 10%. And if you really are serious about this, super serious, take it to the next level. You're not just interested, but you're committed. You can get in the top 1% of coaches out there. Now, this isn't just for, actually this is. Most of this framework is for coaches in general, but there's a couple pieces towards the end, and there's a little bonus at the end that I'm going to share with you. That is pretty much for the fitness industry, but I guess it could overlap into other coaching too. All right, so number 1, the difference between loving what you do and something that you're good at. So first of all, if you're going to become a coach, I would definitely find something that you love to do, but also something that you're good at. If you're, I could probably be pretty good. I worked at Little Caesars. That was my first job. And I'm pretty good at flipping pizzas. But is it something that I love to do? I love to eat pizza, but I don't love to flip pizza. And I certainly don't like the money. So, think about that. I don't suggest you do something that you love, and just be like, oh my God, because sometimes what happens is that passion that we have for that thing, once we do it as a job, we lose the passion and that's it. So, understand that too. So you got to have a passion, you have to have a calling, but also if you really like fitness, you really like triathlon, right? You just love competing in triathlon. You say, hey, I'm going to become a triathlon coach. Become a triathlon coach, you start coaching other people, and all of a sudden, it's like, it's not so much fun anymore. Or, maybe a proofreader. You love to read books. And then you say, I love to read books so much, I'm going to become a proofreader. Start proofreading books, and now it's not fun anymore. So think about that. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, solve a problem. Now this is the tricky one. Solve a problem. Now, obviously, if you're going to be in fitness and nutrition, everybody jumps on the bandwagon of weight loss, and that's a problem, right? But that's not a good problem. The 90% out there are jumping on the weight loss. Oh, everybody! Oh, it's so easy because there's so many fat people, and I can just help some people and lose weight. But first of all, that is a very, very bloody ocean. Everybody is going after those people because it's an easy market. You don't have to have too many skills, but you're gonna be price dropping. Okay, it's kind of gonna be like Walmart, where you're just going to undercut. You're gonna try to undercut everybody. And I don't know about you, but if you're gonna make $10, $15, $20 a session, you might as well go flip pizzas at Little Caesars. At least you'll get free pizza every night. So you figure out what your market is going to be. So let's say My market is going to be weight loss, okay? I want to help people lose weight, but that market is too big, and it's a bloody ocean. So what you need to do is find a sub-market, and maybe even a sub-market or a splinter market below that. So maybe you're going to focus on weight loss, but then you're going to focus on women's weight loss, which is better because when I opened my gym, I had owned a women's gym, and we had a blue ocean. My strategy, everything that we did, my particular gym, it had never been done before. And now look, there's women's gyms everywhere. So we had a blue ocean when I opened my women's gym. So find something within that market, because women's weight loss is good, but there's now that market, if I was going to open my gym the way I did before, the market is a little saturated and it's a little hard. You have to yell. You got to have a good voice to get out there and be heard. So what I would do, I'm just telling you what my market is. What I would do is I would focus on women's weight loss by helping women reverse chronic illness. Boom, there you go. That is your $1 million market right there. So you've taken your market, your market of weight loss, you've made a sub-market of women's weight loss, and then you've even taken a sub-market of that in women's weight loss, reversing chronic illness. There's not a lot of trainers out there that are going to focus on that because it's difficult. But, man, it's going to be rewarding seeing people reverse chronic illness. The first time you watch somebody reverse heart disease or reverse hypertension or reverse diabetes or reverse PCOS, reverse insulin resistance, weight loss resistance, and they cry and they hug you because you've helped them, oh my gosh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right, number 3, you're going to have to wear several hats, okay? Now, I just want to be a coach, okay? If you just want to be a coach, then go get a job. But if you really want to take your coaching business to the next level, you're going to have to wear 2 other hats. And the first one is going to be the entrepreneurial hat. Everybody's throwing that around right now. I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, great. What's the definition of an entrepreneur? It sounds so cool. I want to be an entrepreneur. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who solves problems. An entrepreneur comes up with solutions to problems. Once an entrepreneur has solved and has a solution to a problem, they have to take off the entrepreneur hat. They are no longer an entrepreneur. Now they have to wear hat number 2, which is their marketing hat. And the marketer is who makes the money. The entrepreneur solves the problem. The marketer markets the solution. That's where the money is made. And then the coach, in this situation, this instance, is the one who implements the framework that is going to help with the entrepreneur solve the problem. They're going to implement the framework. So it makes sense? So you have the entrepreneur that solves the problem. You have the marketer who actually has to figure out a way to get the solution out to the masses and make the money. And then you have the coach who implements the strategies and is one-on-one with the clients or semi-privates or whatever like that. All right, so that's number 3. So to recap, first, you got to find something that you love, find something that you're good at, right? Find that mix in between the two, something that you have a little bit of passion about. Number 2 is you have to solve a problem. Number 3, you're going to have to wear 3 different hats. You have to wear the hat of the entrepreneur. Be ready to take that one off pretty quick. The marketer, you're going to keep that hat on for a long time, and the coach. And after a while, like what I had to do was, we became so busy, I had to take my coach hat off and just be the marketer and market the gym and allow other trainers, my trainers, to come in and train and implement, because I couldn't implement the training sessions and market at the same time. Okay? But that's another live for another day. Number 4, learn to be a dynamic storyteller. Stories sell, facts tell. So you have to go back. If you have a great story of how you took your framework, your solution, and you were able to reverse your chronic illness, or you were able to lose 95 pounds or something like that, start from the beginning and tell the story as if you were the person that was still 95 pounds heavy or still had diabetes or still had PCOS. You have to get all of the emotion in there and tell your story. Be captivating with your story, because stories are going to sell. All right, we buy on emotion. We don't buy on facts and logic. Once we buy, then we justify our purchase on facts and logic, okay? But we want to hear a good story. I mean, the movies we watch, right? It's a good story. It's a good storyline. So you have to have a good story. And then also be able to tell the story of your clients, okay? Story of your clients. You can't just say, oh yeah, I helped Sally lose 10 pounds, or I helped Sally reverse her PCOS. That doesn't make any sense. That's not good enough. That's not compelling enough. I remember the time when Sally came into the gym and she was in dire straits. I mean, she told me, she came in and I had a consultation with her, and she said, Nathan, I am, she goes, obviously you can see that I'm really, really overweight. And it breaks my heart because I wanted to go to Six Flags. I'm about to tear up for this. I'm going to Six Flags with my daughter, and I could not get in the ride. How embarrassing is that? I couldn't get in the ride with my daughter. My daughter loves roller coasters. So you can put yourself in Sally's position, because I'm pretty sure that if you've gone to Six Flags or gone to any kind of amusement park, you've seen that happen to somebody, and it's very, very embarrassing. So you get that emotion into that, and then when you help Sally transition from that over to being able to ride rides with her daughter, boom! Oh my God! You help her. She comes through on the other side. Sally is the champion. Sally is the hero of the story. Gotta learn how to tell stories. So, number 4, be a great storyteller. Don't leave out the details. Now, don't go on, right? It doesn't have to be a novel, but it's got to be compelling. It's got to be good. You got to have people on the edge of their seat. Oh, what, oh my God, what happened next, right? It's got to be a cliffhanger, just like in the movies. All right, number 5, present yourself as the guide, not the hero of the story. Now, I just told you the story, right? Sally is the hero. Present yourself as the guide to Sally. There's too many times especially in the fitness and fitness and nutrition industry, that everybody wants to be the hero. The trainer wants to be the hero. Oh, well, look at all the accolades I have. I'm the hero. No. You're the hero of your story, but you are not the hero of your client's story, because if you position yourself as the hero, you're going to be a broke-ass hero. I'm just saying. You need to be the guide. There are three different parts of the story, right? There's the guide, there's the hero or the victim, and then there's the villain. Obviously, I mean, does anybody really want to be the villain? No. So you have a victim who comes into the gym. They're the victim. They're the person we feel sorry for. They meet the guide, and then they become the hero. So think about it in Star Wars, right? Luke Skywalker is the victim. Lost his parents, all alone. He meets a guide, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is the guide. He's not the hero. He transforms our victim into the hero. And obviously we know who the villain is. Nobody wants to be the villain. I mean, the people that do, they're not going to be there for very long. So if you want to be a coach, you can't be the villain, okay? So position yourself as the guide, walking your victim into heroism, so that they can be the hero, they can be the champion, they can wear the gold medal of their own story. You do that, my friends, you're gonna have clients forever. Boom. All right. Number 6, create your framework. So whatever worked for you, you're gonna have to tweak it. You're gonna have to fix it. Obviously, some of the things that I've been working on and I've been using since 1998, I have tweaked. They're not exactly the same. They're much, much better. But you have to have a framework. Don't just run out there and throw spaghetti on the wall every time. And people are going to follow you if you have a plan. People are going to follow a leader. They're not going to follow another follower. So if you want to step out and you want to be somebody, you want to be a leader, you want to be a coach worth following, then you're going to have to present yourself as, I have this. This is what we are going to do. When somebody comes in and does a consultation with me, I present the framework. Now, here's the thing. When somebody comes to me, I'm really good at what I do. I've been doing this for so long. Within 3 minutes, I can tell you what your problem is. Within 5 minutes, I can give you a framework that's going to customized to you at a 30,000 foot view that I could just hand you and you could take and you could actually implement, start getting results. And that's why I charged $300, $297 for a consultation, because I know within 3 minutes I can knock it out. But I let people talk and I let them, tell their story, because I want to listen to them and hear and learn. But there are very specific questions I ask, and once I ask those questions, I already know how to guide you to the solution that you're looking for. I don't need to hear all the other stuff. All the other stuff is just, everybody says the same thing. It's all the same thing. Okay? So, I'm not trying to be impersonal, but I'm just showing you that once you start to coach and you start to learn, you start to hear people, you start to connect with people, you can see people's solutions, you can see the problems real quick. They just appear to you. And you don't have to spend an hour and a half with somebody. You can help them really, really simple. And you hand them the framework and say, I got this. Okay, so number 6, choose your framework. Number 7, charge what you're worth, not what others are charging. Now, this is something that I didn't learn when I first started. I only went in and charged what I thought the market was, what everybody else was charging. I did per hour sessions. I did, and I think I remember back in 97, 98, I was charging $35 an hour. I was like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to pay this. And then all of a sudden I was just getting checks, and I was charging for $10 or 10 sessions at a time. I didn't know any better. That was just what everybody did. I was young and I had no idea what I was doing. But I had all these checks for $350. I had lots of checks. As a matter of fact, I started making 6 figures a year really freaking fast. But I also realized too, I didn't have enough time in the day to train all these people. So within, I think it was 3 months, I jacked it up to $55. Woo! Whoa! $55. I gave myself a $20 raise, and the checks still kept coming. And one of the guys that helped introduce me into Atlanta, he was like, Nathan, you got to charge more. And I was like, more than $55 an hour? Are you kidding? People are going to pay this? He's like, you said the same thing about 35. What you have is so valuable. People are going to pay you. If people aren't paying, it's either because you're not creating enough value, or it's the wrong people. People are going to buy. People buy Hondas. People buy Mercedes. Same car, 4 wheels, gets you from point A to point B. It's just a different experience. Value. Create value. Okay. And if you get results for people, it's really hard. And I offer a money-back guarantee, which I still do today. So, charge what you're worth, not what everybody else is charging. It's going to be scary, I know, but don't worry. Trust me. On the other side, trust me, boo-boo, I got you. Okay. Now, number 8. Be consistent with everything that you do. Be consistent. This is where most trainers, most coaches fall off, because there's no consistency in their message. There's no consistency in their marketing. There's no consistency in their business. And then they wonder why they fail. I'm going to give you a prime example. This one is going to hurt. Remember the gym that Steph and I just one day just abruptly were like, oh, we're closing, and they didn't give us any notice? Talk about a freaking shit show. How about let's just throw spaghetti on the wall and hope some of it sticks? One day, we're going to do a booty challenge. Nope, forget it. We're not going to do the booty challenge. We're going to do an ice cream challenge. Nope, forget that. Nope, we're going to do a weight loss challenge. Nope, forget that. Let's just do a water challenge, and we'll charge people. You're going to charge people to drink water. Okay, it didn't get that stupid, but you understand the point. They could not make a decision and stick with it. Be Henry Ford. When Henry Ford came out with the Model T, he stuck with the Model T way after everybody else said, you got to change the Model T. And he didn't. And he concreted Ford's manufacturing and Ford's company legacy because of the Model T and the fact that he made that decision and stuck to that decision. And as a coach, people are looking to you as a leader. Make a decision, stick with it, and keep moving forward. And then after you get enough data to realize, okay, it's not working, tweak it, or then you nix it. But if you're going to do, and then you drive your employees, you drive your staff nuts, because one day it was this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we get so fired up. This is our price, we're going to charge this. I have never seen a gym that had 10 people with 10 different charges. Everybody was getting the same freaking thing, but everybody was paying a different price. I had never seen that before. I was like, how can you guys even keep this straight? I can't. But you can see I get fired up about this stuff because this is serious, people. This is serious. I am so dedicated to transforming people's lives. And if you want to be a coach, be in the 1%. Get to the 10%, and then be in the 1%. The 1% crazy, as Russell Brunson talks about. All right, so be consistent. Make a decision and stick with it. That's probably one of the most impactful. So that's the top 8 right there. We got 10. We got 2 more, but I'm going to go and recap. Love what you do. Find something that you are really, really good at, okay? Solve problems. Become a problem solver. Figure out what those problems are. You're going to have to wear several hats, right? You're going to have to be the entrepreneur, the marketer, and the coach. If you're going to do all 3, you're going to put it all together. Learn to tell stories and be a very, very valuable storyteller, okay? Present yourself as the guide. Let your clients be the heroes. Create a framework. Stick with it. Change what you're doing. Charge what you're worth. Not change. Charge what you're worth, not what others are charging. And be consistent with your message. Be consistent with everything. Stick to it, okay? Now, number 9, keep your word. Integrity is everything. Integrity should be everything in every aspect of life. And I think that if we all walked around with integrity every single day, that we would not have these problems that we have in the world right now, especially in America. Nobody has integrity. Nobody takes responsibility for themselves. You, as a leader, are going to have to be responsible and have integrity. You're going to have to be responsible for yourself and the responsibility, and you have to be responsible for your clients' results. But Nathan, they only come to me twice a week. But Nathan, how can I give a money back guarantee on a $5,000 program? I can't believe, Nathan, you charge $5,000. How can you guarantee a $5,000 program and give their money back if they don't get results, if you're not with them all the time? That's what leaders do. You create the value, you create the framework, you guide them from the victim to the hero. You got to paint the picture. It's all on you, boo-boo. Otherwise, like I said, you can flip pizza at Little Caesars. If you're going to do something for somebody, if you say you're going to say, if you're going to show up, I don't do early morning sessions anymore because that's just not what I do. But if you're going to say, hey, okay, we're going to meet at 5 a.m., then be there at 4:45. Be there for your client. Don't call your client 10 minutes before and say, oh, I'm not going to make it today because you were drinking, or I'm not going to make it today because, well, my belly hurts. Show up for your clients all the time. Have integrity. Show up for yourself. Show up for your clients. Always, and have integrity for yourself. If you want to make this a business, if you want to see 6 figures, if you want to see 8 figures, if you want to make this a real business, something that you can really have and create an impact on people's lives, then you have to have integrity. Because once you lose your integrity, especially as a coach, nobody's going to follow you, because word is going to spread like wildfire that you are not an integral person. I'm serious. Taekwondo, right? In martial arts, whether you're a martial arts instructor, or if you're a coach, or if you're a finance, like my buddy Oscar, he's in finance. Grant Cardone talks about the 10X, right? The 10X book, 10X everything. And he says, rather than, understating and then over-delivering, which seems to be what everybody's trying to do, and most people understate and then they can't even get to that level. Rather than understating and over-deliver, why don't you do this? Here's the bar. Why don't you overstate and then freaking over-deliver? Boom! Oh my God, you want to set yourself apart? Do that. Do that. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money on yourself. Believe in yourself. Because if you know that you're that good, then just prove it. It's that simple. It's that simple. And if you can do that and you have integrity time and time again, You're not going to have to do a lot of marketing for new people because your clients are going to be your tribe. Your tribe is going to just sing praises of you on the rooftop. And that's what I did. That's how I got all my clients. I hardly had to do, once I started the marketing train, it wouldn't stop. I got people, unbelievable people that it's like, I would never have met these people. Yes, prove it and love it. Exactly. Yes, just prove it. Just prove it. My buddy Joaquin, he owns, I think, 4 Taekwondo schools. How can you own 4 Taekwondo schools? Because he creates value for his students. I watch him on live, and man, you can see the passion in what he does for his students. I mean, it's that simple. His passion is kids, Taekwondo. I mean, because Joaquin and I, we used to train together, right? And you can see, he even has his own tournament. And his tournament, this is a complete sidebar, but his tournament, he gives away some of the coolest prizes and the coolest stuff. Everybody goes to the tournament because he creates so much value. I've never seen a tournament where they give away a TV for winning. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Sorry. Back to number 10. Boom. Number 10. Follow through. Follow through with what you're doing. If you start on the journey, it's so easy. And I know trainers like this. It's so easy to gather the money, right? It's easy to gather the money. But then you got to follow through with the commitment to see through on those sessions if that's how you're going to have people pay you. You know, we used to have, at one point, we had, people pay 24, 48, or 50 sessions. We're talking about $6,000 worth of training at one time. They would pay for 75 sessions up front. Like, remember I was telling you in the beginning of this, 10 sessions. How can you change anybody in 10 sessions? Give me 24. I can show you life change in 24 sessions. But we had people, 75 sessions, 100 sessions, all the time, $6,000 checks just coming through. But you have to be there for that 50 sessions, that 75 sessions, that 100 sessions. You've got to be there. Once you get the money, now you got to deliver the goods. Okay? The way we charge now is a little bit different. But I can talk about that on another live, but you do you, boo. But make sure that you got to follow through and commit to delivering. And now here's another one. This is the bonus. All right. So we talked about 10. Now this is the bonus. This is the one. This is the secret one, the sauce. If you want to set yourself apart from all the other trainers, especially in the fitness world, the coaches, not trainers, coaches. You ready? That was a drum roll for those of you who couldn't see my fingers. Now, get close. This is it. This is the bonus. This is why I saved it for the last. It's not even on there. Do not sleep with your clients. It is unbelievable, as I've been a trainer in this industry, fitness and nutrition, how stupidly retarded trainers and coaches, instructors sleep with their clients and then wonder why they're broke. If we're sleeping together, why are you paying me? So freaking stupid. Oscar, remember the last time we were training? Remember Massage Boy and his girl? Exactly that. I have seen this since the very beginning. If you want to ruin your reputation, hold on just a second. Okay, so it says, do you recommend to charge sessions in the beginning or wait and see how the client is? It depends. I think if you're talking about for Taekwondo, what I would do, my thing, we'll get back to the sleeping thing in a minute. It's not going anywhere. What I would do is I would either charge them for, I like 24 sessions, because if you're meeting with them 2 or 3 times a week, then that's like 4 weeks, right? or 2 times a week, it's 6 weeks. You're going to see some good quality training. You're going to see some results in that 6 weeks or that 4 weeks, whether you're charging them 3 or 4 times a week. But what I do, fitness. So this is what I do, is we charge per session with a retainer of a session up front. So when I first meet with somebody, it's $297. I'm just going to tell you guys my prices right now. So it's $297 consultation. Boom. Now, usually it lasts an hour because I will do a fitness assessment and a nutrition assessment with that person, and I will walk through. We'll do body fat measurements, strength test, flexibility test. I think Oscar is watching. He can tell you all the poking and prodding that I did with him to really get a baseline for my clients. The longest it takes is an hour and a half. Okay, so it's $300, $297, and we go through a lot. It's about 15 pages long. Okay, so I really find a baseline, and then I can give you at that point. I could give you enough information that they could take home alone and go and do their thing. Then what I do is I charge $125 a session with a session up front. So for example, it's like a retainer. So they'll pay for 2 sessions, which would be $250. And then every time they go through a session, there will always be a $125 retainer just in case they don't show up or they miss. I take the retainer and then we replenish it. I hope that makes sense. So what I'm doing is I have no sessions that I have to owe somebody later on. I'm actually making the money as I'm going, just like if you were going to a doctor. Does it make sense? Because you're not going to pay for 10 teeth cleanings. I don't know why I stutter sometimes. Teeth cleanings up front. You're going to pay per time. So what I do is I pay for just in case somebody doesn't show up, right? Because every once in a while somebody just will ghost you, and it happens, or they have good intentions. But what I do is I have them pay that retainer up front and the first session up front, and then I just draw that session automatically every time we train. Usually on the morning of. I try to set people. The other thing I like to do too is I try to set people up on the same day, same time, all the time, and then it's automated. I just set it and forget it. I use Stripe, and I can just set it for whatever. If I do 3 times a week, then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the Stripe will run it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it'll go through. So I hope that works. But there's always money in the bank account, and they always have a guaranteed time. And then I don't have a huge amount. Of sessions I have left. The only difference, there's only one difference that I have, and that is when somebody goes through, when they come to me for reversing diabetes or any other chronic illness, I have a 12-week program, and it's $6,000, and you have to pay that up front. Because of the fact that so much time and effort and work goes into getting that result, that money has to be up front. And usually somebody pays $6,000, they're in it. They're going to do it. They're going to go all in, because a lot of times we get people that are going to die, or they have to change their lives. They're at the end, or they're going to go on 5 different medications, and they don't want to do that. So the $6,000 pays for everything I need to get them going and rolling, and there's a lot of stuff going in there. So that's the only time I charge up front for that, for a program. Okay. All right. So back to the bonus. Boom. All right. So if you want to be a coach worth following, do not sleep with your clients. Don't befriend your clients. You can be friends with them. Okay. But I don't recommend, and you can go, and I used to do this. I mean, I would go, to their birthday parties. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, it was cool to have a trainer. So I would be introduced as, oh, this is my trainer. I was like, man, this is my slave boy. It was just weird. It was like, this is my trainer. I hated that. But got a lot of clients, got a lot of referrals, so did that. But you can have them as friends. But there's a line from Jerry Maguire. It says it's not show friends, it's show business. And what happens is friends, if you got, friends don't pay, right? it's hard to charge your friends for stuff. So, you have to be able to keep it separated. And I think, I am able to take my hat off and keep the friend hat over here and the business hat over here. And because, just like anybody else that goes to a job, you're doing a job, you're doing work, you're getting paid. It's the same thing for us. And a lot of people don't understand that. They'll call in 15 minutes before a session and then expect to not pay for the session. Well, you were expecting, if you're tracking all of your finances, you're expecting 10 sessions that day. Now you're at 9. Now you can't pay your bills, right? So it's like you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to hold them accountable. You got to hold yourself to a professional level. And when you're following through and have integrity, people are going to pay because there's no other way. And I put that in my agreement. I'm like, if you don't show up, if you don't give me, this is something else I put in my agreement, 48-hour notice. If you don't give me a 48-hour notice that you're canceling, just like a doctor, if you don't give me a 48-hour notice, you're being charged. Because my family should not have to suffer because somebody else is not. And here's the thing, like, I don't get those kind of clients anymore, okay? Because I don't attract those kind of clients. Once you start charging more, you start charging a premium, all the bottom feeders are going to fall off. Let them go back to the 90% of trainers that are bottom bargaining for people. Once you get a certain amount of people, a certain amount of quality client, and you set expectations, you set boundaries, you don't sleep with your clients, then you can charge whatever you want and they're going to pay and they're going to respect your time. They're going to respect you. But if you go in it and you're like, oh, okay, and you let them do it one time and then you do it another time, now you set the precedent that they can cancel whenever, you can cancel whenever, and this is just kind of like, it's just going to hang out and show up and we're just going to play. Can't do that. You got to be a professional. All right. So I really hope that this was helpful. Like I said, I had a couple people ask me about, well, I want to be a coach, but I don't even know what to do. This is a good start. All right. You take these 10 things, this framework here, you implement these things, you're well on your way. There's a lot more that you got to do, but this stuff right here, this is going to set you apart really, really quick. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, just drop those below. You can always private message me. I make fun and say, well, people private message me more than they comment, but it's okay. It's fine. If you want to private message me, I don't care. And I'm not going to call you out. I promise. If you don't want me to talk about you, I will not talk about you. I'll use you as an example, but I will keep the name like Sally. Because it's not about that, but I feel like I need to share and help other people. And not only am I in the trenches in the fitness and nutrition industry and health and wellness and helping people, but what I've also started to realize in the last couple of years that I'm helping other coaches and I'm stepping up and helping other coaches because other people help me. So now I'm to the point where I can help other people because I'm like, hey, this is all the crap I did as an early coach. Don't do this. Don't reinvent the wheel. You don't have to learn this on your own. Just don't do the dumb stuff that I did. Don't do the dumb stuff that all of us tried to do, right? Now it's so much easier now, okay? All right, so hearts, likes, wows, happy faces, Care Bear stares. And until next time, start strong, finish stronger.